values?
It's like
Colin, what do you know about values?
Like, what type of values? Like the value of money, what you value, or
Talk to me about all that.
money? There's like a few different. $1 is 100 times the amount of money that a penny is.
So we can talk about the money value of something.
Yeah, like you as a human being would have values not to like let's say one of your values is taking a shower every day.
Hygiene.
Yeah, hygiene. Or one of your values is like not taking a shower every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you add anything to that?
Well, kind of like for money, there's values for different priceless artifacts in museums. So if you break that, you have to pay a lot of money.
Okay. You also use the word priceless in there. So talk to me about that.
Priceless means, well, priceless is a lot of money that was put into there. It was over years and years, and it's one of a kind, so it'll be priceless.
Okay. Any other thoughts about that? I'm going to challenge Cedric, which is something we do in CIM. And anywhere, really, to respectfully challenge. So I have a baby blanket, and I'm 30. I'll be 38 here in a couple weeks. And it has holes in it, and I've had it since I was born. So it's probably not worth any money, but to me it's priceless. What does that mean?
That, like, it's yours, and if anything were to happen to it, you'd be upset.
Yeah. Okay, so by the end of this class period, we're going to talk about your own values and have you kind of explore that. You can share verbally as much as you want to, and you can keep as much of it private if you want to, because values are a personal thing. Why is it important to explore your own values?
Because, well, maybe if there's something that you value, like, that is about, like, something of yours that you, like, value, kind of, and, like, if anything were to happen to it, you'd be upset, and you really haven't, like, thought of it, it'd be, say, like, a pair of sunglasses. If, like, those were to get broken, and you would, like, be upset, but, like, you wouldn't, like, at the same time, kind of. So,
Okay.
like, you want to, like, to explore them, you would like to, you, like, want to see stuff that, like, means stuff to you, but, like...
Yeah, you want to know what's meaningful
Yeah.
to you. Why is it important to know what's meaningful to you?
Know what kind of person you are?
To know what kind of person you are?
What you value most.
To know what you value most. All three of you hear everyday morning announcements. And at the very end of the morning announcements, it says, the choice is yours. So if you know what your values are, it helps you make choices, right? Well, I value my hygiene and my health, so I'm going to make a choice every day to shower and eat nutritious, so on and so forth. So it really helps with choices. So what I would like to do today is, I have an envelope for you. And in the envelope, Cedric, you're going to sit here. Maddie, you're going to come over to this table. And Cedric, you're going to stand, or Colin, you're going to stand over here at this counter. Go ahead and open your envelope. And you have about 40 cards that have different values. People are different. People have different values. What I want you to do is to lay those all out face up. Do that quickly. You'll notice a few blank ones because maybe this activity didn't capture something that you value, so you can write it on there. only you will need to see these, so don't feel like they have to face out or anything like that. I hope that you're reading the main word and the little descriptor underneath. So what I'm going to ask you to do, and I'm going to set a timer, so this is your own personal time, is to ultimately identify 5 of these that are your personal strongest values. I'll be coming around in case you have a question about one of them, but there is some subjectivity to it. For example, health is kind of what Colin and I talked about. Is this physical and mental well-being? Well, personally, I also think health includes nutrition and things like that. So you can have a perception of what's meaningful to you. So let's set a timer for 5 minutes. And you ultimately want to end up with 5 face up and the rest face down. You may go ahead and begin.
Can we separate 5, or do we have to turn all the other ones upside down?
Whatever works for you.
It's like...
Talk to me about your strategy here.
I just the ones that I was kind of used to describe kind of
Okay.
because
I appreciate your honesty. So you're picking out 5 that you think are the priorities in your own life. So Cedric is looking at some of them and saying, personally, this is not one of the top things I value. I don't value, not that you don't value, but it's not a priority to be in control. So he's turning that one down. I don't know if that's the one he really turned down, but so humor, is that something that you find a priority in? Like, it's a life priority for me to find the humor in things.
kind of, but kind of not, because I find humor in things for an example with me, if a teacher is funny and they're nice to them, nice to the students, then it's easier for me to learn. But if they're harsh and they if they're harsh, then it's harder for me to learn, only because they don't really it's just harder for me to learn that way.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is that this is a priority. You're not quite sure how strong a priority it is and how weak of a priority it is. So maybe a strategy would be to put, right now, my first time at this, I think these are top priorities, these are low priorities, and these ones are somewhere in the middle. And then you can sort them out from there. So where would you put that one?
Probably in the middle.
Okay, why don't you start a middle pile for that then? That's your strategy over here, Colin.
Just picked out the few that I like thought were good and selected from those two.
So is that
Those
all
two.
this, or is that just that?
Pretty much from here up and over. So
So
here's
this is over here?
yeah. So this is what I have so far, but
Okay.
I've mostly ruled out these already. But that's what I
Okay,
started
so
off
they're
with.
kind of in the middle.
And then these are the ones that I'm judging against these.
You're trying to pin it down to 5.
Yeah. I think I'll keep it like this.
Like this?
Yep.
Independence, knowledge. Okay. You can just wait patiently here while we have Cedric and Maddie finish. About 1 minute. So you're trying to choose your top 5 now. And what are your thoughts? This is tough, isn't it? Top 5, okay.
No.
Talk to me about your piles right now. Or is this one?
This is like the priority ones,
Okay.
and this one is like the in the middle, and
Okay.
in between, and then these ones are the ones that like aren't priority.
Okay. All right, you keep going. So now, move these over here. And bring those forward. Maddie's almost done here, guys. And this isn't like a lifelong commitment, this is just in the moment. What 5 do you view as priority of values there?
This one.
How do you guys feel about sharing those with your group mates? Cedric is okay with it. What about you, Colin? You're fine with it? Bring over your 5. Maddie? What? Are you okay with sharing?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want us to explain them, like, and why we chose them?
What? Let's just share first. That's a great question.
Okay.
Let's just share the 5 first. Cedric.
Respect, love, honesty, cooperation, and loyalty.
Okay. Maddie?
Love, respect, faith, life, and trustworthiness.
Justice, health, knowledge, independence, and morality.
Okay. So there were some similarities, but we all had our own, correct? And what's in your head? Could any of you identify your core value, the number 1 out of those 5? Would you share? You don't have to.
Loyalty.
Loyalty?
Mine would be life, because like you have like the life you get is you were given that life for a reason.
Thank you for sharing.
morality, and ethical standards, and a strong sense of right and wrong.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. In our book that we're going to start reading, Among the Hidden, we talked a little bit about it yesterday, Luke is the main character. Throughout the book, he is going to be facing some values dilemmas, some ethical dilemmas. So when you're reading, and this is new to Colin, this is not new to you two, we use a wide range of thinking strategies, right? And the reason we did this activity is because this is kind of the thought process that Luke has to have throughout this book. And readers, they're constantly searching in their mind for connections with characters, what things you agree with them on, what you disagree with them, and that builds a deeper comprehension. And so that's why we did this activity, and that's what this book is going to be about. This book is also a series, so if you start finding it really interesting, which I think is a fabulous book, you'll have opportunities to keep going with the series. So why don't you go ahead and take a vote. And there you go. I'm going to read aloud just the start of chapter 1, the first page and a half. So go ahead and follow along with me as we read chapter 1. He saw the first tree shudder and fall, far off in the distance. Then he heard his mother call out of the kitchen window, "Luke, inside, now!" He had never disobeyed the order to hide. Even as a toddler, barely able to walk in the backyard's tall grass, he had somehow understood the fear in his mother's voice. But on this day, the day they began taking the woods away, he hesitated. He took one extra breath of the fresh air, scented with clover and honeysuckle, and, coming far away, pine smoke. He laid his hoe down gently and savored one last moment of feeling warm soil beneath his bare feet. He reminded himself, "I will never be allowed outside again, maybe never again as long as I live." He turned and walked into the house as silently as a shadow. "Why?" he asked at the supper table that night. It wasn't a common question in the Gardner house. There were plenty of hows. How much rain the backfield get? How'd the planting go? Even what's? What'd Matthew do with the 5/16 wrench? What's Dad going to do about that busted tire? But why wasn't considered much worth asking. Luke asked again, "Why do you have to sell the woods?" Dad harumphed and paused in the midst of shoveling forkfuls of boiled potatoes in his mouth. "Told you before, we didn't have a choice. Government wanted it. You can't tell the government no." Mother came over and gave Luke's shoulder a reassuring squeeze before turning back to the stove. They had defied the government once with Luke. That had taken all the defiance they had in them, maybe more. What are your thoughts?
Luke is not very happy that they had to sell the woods.
That he really wanted to stay outside for a little longer, but when his mom told him to come inside, he didn't disobey, but he took a last breath of the outside so he can get a smell of it.
What is defiance?
To
Disobey.
Yeah, to disobey. So it said they had defied the government once with Luke. That had taken all the defiance they had in them. What do you think about that, Colin?
That.
What do you think it means in this text to defy the government?
To break some law that they've put out there,
To break some law that they put out there.
or just like not go along with what everyone else is going along with. Maybe not breaking the law, but just
Protesting?
yeah.
So, the last question I have for you today regarding Among the Hidden text. Do you notice anything about the author's choice of capitalization in just the page and a half that I read to you?
That when his mom yelled for him to come inside, you can tell that the author put him there to sound like she was kind of worried and scared, but also yelling at him to come inside.
So with the authors, that would be more author's word choice and author's punctuation. What about the author's capitalization?
Well, like the beginning of the sentences, names, like when it said, what did Matthew do with the 5/16 wrench? Like the beginning of like some type of statement, kind of.
So normally, a writer would capitalize the beginning of a sentence. They would capitalize specific places, people, and things. There's something unique that he capitalized. She capitalized. Colin?
Oh, so she's yelling out pretty much the first sentence of the first letter of each word. Well, not yelling, but saying the first letter louder than the rest of the.
Okay. So put your finger on a unique capitalization that in our general writing, our rules of capitalization defies the rules.
So like something that would like tell you like.
So something that the author chose to capitalize that normally as a writer we wouldn't capitalize. So you told me we capitalize beginning of sentences, people's names, specific places. But the author has made a unique choice here. Cedric noticed this unique capitalization. He's going to tell you about it.
Government, because normally you wouldn't capitalize government because it's not a proper noun.
Right. Government, there's government in every country. There's, so that's not a proper noun. Why do you think the author chose to capitalize government in this writing, in this story?
Probably because, like you said, that Luke has to like hide from the government, so it's like an important thing in the book.
Absolutely. So as we start reading this, try to catch on to some of those things that the author chose to do. Okay? And we're going to read more tomorrow. Go ahead and close up your books. And you can put them right here in the middle. The last thing that I would like you to do today is to take some time to reflect on your values activity that you did. So we'll be writing in a notebook this quarter instead of a Chromebook. You have your name on it. On the inside you have a writing prompt. I actually provided you 3 writing prompts. You can write about all of them. You can choose one and write about. Maddie, would you read the writing prompt?
Like all 3 of them?
Yeah.
Would 5 random people identify the same values or core values as each of us here? Do you walk the talk when it comes to your values and the way that you live your life? Write about examples of you making hard choices tied to your values.
Okay. So the next 14 minutes are yours to write and reflect. Remember the reason that we did this values activity? Yes, it's very important to know your values because it guides your choices, but we're tying it right into the text to start our strong comprehension of the story. So when you're done with that, you may take out your own independent reading book. You may go ahead and begin.